Your joints ache. Your brain feels foggy. You wake up at 3 a.m. drenched in sweat. You have anxiety out of nowhere for no reason. And you're doing everything right, eating well, exercising, trying your best. And it's all still happening. I want to tell you something nobody told me when I went through menopause. All those symptoms, they have one root cause. It's called inflammation. And certain plants can fight it directly. I'm 71 years old, a former competitive bodybuilder, and a plant based chef. I'm going to show you the exact anti inflammatory diet that changed my menopause completely. Here's something that took me years to fully understand, and I want to make sure you understand today because it changes everything. Estrogen is one of your body's most powerful natural anti inflammatory agents. When you're cycling, when estrogen is flowing, it keeps inflammation in your body low. It protects your joints, it protects your brain, it protects your cardiovascular system. And then menopause hits, estrogen drops, and without that protection, inflammation rises system wide in your joints, in your brain, in your gut, in your blood vessels. That joint pain that came out of nowhere, inflammation. The brain fog that makes you feel like you're thinking through cotton wool, inflammation. The hot flashes, inflammation triggering your hypothermos, your body's thermostat. The anxiety, inflammation in your nervous system affecting your stress hormones, anxiety. It's not four different problems, it's one problem showing up in different places. Here's the good news: certain plants contain compounds that directly lower your inflammation in your body. Not medication, not supplements, real food that you can cook and eat every single day. And that is what today's video is about. My name is Synovia, and on this channel, we talk about menopause health and fitness. This is Eat Plants, Live Well. Stay tuned with me to the end of the video for our weekly exercises. Plant number one. And if you only add one thing to your diet after watching this video, make it this one: turmeric. Turmeric contains a compound called curcumin, and curcumin is one of the most studied natural anti inflammatory compounds on the planet. It works by blocking a specific inflammatory pathway in your body called NFKB, the same pathway that drives joint pain, brain inflammation, and hot flashes. Women in menopause communities right now are spending hundreds of dollars on curcumin supplements. And I understand why, because it works. But here's what I know: whole turmeric root added to your food is more bioavailable than most supplements when you pair it correctly. The secret: black pepper. Add a pinch of black pepper every time you use turmeric. It increases curcumin absorption by 2,000%. Yes, that is not a typo. 2,000%. Fresh turmeric in your smoothies, which is one of the ways I like to use it. Ground turmeric in your curry. Well, I like it in my food as well. Turmeric paste in your oatmeal. I use it every single day, and it's been a game changer for my joint inflammation. And one thing I make sure I do every single morning, I take a 32-ounce glass of water, and what I typically do is I'll take about a pound of ginger and I'll juice it, and I'll do the same thing with the turmeric, and I'll put it in ice trays. So when I'm getting ready to make my drink in the morning, I'll just take a couple of ice cubes out of the ginger and the turmeric, put it in the water with my lemon, and a little bit of cayenne, black pepper, and a pinch of honey, and warm that up, and that's what I drink first thing in the morning. Plant number two, ginger. Ginger is one of the oldest medicinal plants in the world, and for women in menopause, it is one of the most underrated. Ginger contains compounds called gingerols and shot-gales, natural COX-2 inhibitors. If you've ever taken ibuprofen for joint pain, ibuprofen is also a COX-2 inhibitor. Ginger works with a similar pathway, naturally, with zero side effects and with additional benefits for your gut microbiome. Your gut is directly connected to your inflammation levels. An unhealthy gut microbiome, which menopause disrupts, drives systematic inflammation. Ginger feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut and reduces gut inflammation at the same time. It also has mild phytoestrogenic activity, meaning it gently supports estrogen balance. And studies show it can reduce the frequency and intensity of hot flashes. Grate it fresh into your smoothies, steep it in tea, add it to your stir fries. There's just so many ways you can use ginger. Quick pause. If this is landing for you, hit that subscribe button right now. Every week, I'll bring you a plant-based nutrition science designed especially for women in perimenopause and menopause. Plant number 3, apples. And I bet you didn't expect to see apples on this list, but for menopause, apples are a secret weapon because they're loaded with quercetin. Quercetin is a powerful flavonoid that specifically helps stabilize the cells that release histamine and drive inflammation. If you struggle with those random menopause allergies like skin sensitivities or joint swelling, you need more quercetin. And here's the best part. When you cook the apple, like we're about to do in our tea, you actually make some of those compounds even easier for your body to use. Now, quercetin is in a lot of different fruits and vegetables, so I'm going to give you a short list. Red onions, kale, cherry tomatoes, broccoli, blueberries, and of course, apples. Make sure you eat the skin because that is where the quercetin is primarily. The last ingredient for our tea is cinnamon. Now, the compound that gives cinnamon its smell and taste is called cinnamaldehyde. It directly inhibits inflammatory proteins called NF-κB and AP1, the same inflammatory pathways that turmeric's curcumin targets. Think of it as a second blocker hitting the same pathway from a different angle, like a double lock on the door inflammation uses to enter your body. When you combine cinnamon with turmeric in your tea, you're hitting NF-κB from 2 directions simultaneously. Cinnamon contains type A proanthocyanidins, compounds that mimic insulin and improves how your cells respond to it. In menopause, estrogen loss causes insulin resistance to increase, meaning your blood sugar becomes less stable. Every blood sugar spike triggers an inflammatory response in your body. Cinnamon slows the rate at which your stomach empties after eating, which flattens the blood sugar curve. No spike equals no inflammatory wave. Our next recipe is my 3-green sauté. Now, most people grab 1 green at the grocery store. Maybe kale because it's trendy, maybe spinach because it's easy. And that's fine, but at 71, I don't have time to leave anything on the table. So I use all 3 of these, and here's why. Kale is a cytokine blocker. Cytokines are inflammatory proteins, and they are elevated in every woman going through menopause. That joint pain, that skin sensitivity, those random allergic reactions that started out of nowhere, cytokines. Kale contains vitamin K1 and quercetin, 2 compounds that directly regulate how many cytokines your immune system is releasing. Less cytokines, less fire. Kale also contains something called sulforaphane, a compound that activates your body's own antioxidant defense system at the cellular level. Your body already knows how to fight inflammation. Kale helps it do the job better. Swiss chard is your blood sugar stabilizer. And I know what you're thinking. What does blood sugar have to do with inflammation? Everything. Every time your blood sugar spikes from stress, from poor sleep, from the wrong foods, your body releases a wave of inflammatory chemicals. In menopause, when estrogen is no longer protecting you, those spikes hit harder and last longer. Swiss chard contains a unique compound called serotonergic acid. It slows down sugar absorption in your gut so your blood sugar rises gradually instead of spiking. No spike, no inflammatory wave. And then there are collard greens. And this is one of my personal favorite of the three. Here's why. Your liver is your inflammation filter. Every inflammatory metabolite, every toxin, every hormonal byproduct that needs to be cleared from your bloodstream, your liver is doing that work. And in menopause, when your body is processing a massive hormonal shift, your liver is working overtime. Collard greens contain compounds called glucosinolates, sulfur-based compounds that directly support liver detoxification. A sluggish liver means inflammation buildup in your bloodstream instead of getting cleared. Collards keep your liver doing its job. They also have the highest magnesium content of the three. And we've talked about magnesium before. It lowers cortisol. Lower cortisol means lower inflammation. Lower inflammation means less belly fat, better sleep, fewer hot flashes. Now we're going to start on our exercises. We're going to be working our upper body and starting with our biceps. The bicep is the muscle on the front of the arm. You're going to take your resistance band, take the one that works for you, and put it underneath your feet. Bring your feet shoulder width apart. Bring your arms shoulder width apart, and you're going to bring that band straight up and squeeze the biceps at the top. I want you to do 3 sets, 10 reps. Now we're going to switch it up and we're going to do the same movement. We're still working our biceps, only this time we're going to be using our dumbbells. So you can either use your resistance bands, or if you have dumbbells, you can use dumbbells. It doesn't matter which one you use, just make sure, of course, that you're increasing your weight as much as possible. Next, we're going to be working the tricep. The tricep muscle is the muscle on the back of the arm. Take your resistance band, put it underneath your foot. Make sure it's secure. Bend at the waist, bend the elbow, and press straight back. Make sure you're always focusing on your form and always try to move up in your strength training exercises. Next, we're going to switch it up. Same exercises, only this time we're going to be using dumbbells, bending from the waist, bend the elbows, and press straight back. You want to make sure you're using weights that are heavy enough to challenge you, but also be safe. So this is your tricep kickback, and you're going to do 3 sets, 10 reps, twice a week. Now we're going to be working our shoulders. Using our dumbbells, bring the arms shoulder width apart, and you're going to press straight up. Again, we're going to be working the shoulders, only this time we're going to be using our resistance band. Take the band, put it underneath your feet, bring the band up to your chest, and then press straight up. Bring it down onto your chest, and then press straight up. Three sets, 10 reps. Our last exercise, we're going to be doing a side lateral raise, and that is hitting the outer portion of your shoulders. You're going to be bringing the dumbbell straight up. 3 sets, 10 reps, twice a week. And there you have it, family. That's our exercises and our meals for the week. Let me know what you think. Peace and blessings.